To this, there was the Chet Holmgren of it all as well. He struggled in this series, and in Game 7, he had only 4 points and was 1 for 2 from the field. It tied Holmgren's fewest points in a playoff game in his career, and his 2 field goal attempts were tied for the fewest by an All-NBA player from that season in a Game 7 with at least 20 minutes played. Here's Chet on the Spurs matchup.
At the end of the day, it's always about us trying to win the basketball game. Us as a collective, the Thunder team trying to win the basketball game. And that's what it's always going to be.
All right, no one, not even SGA, had answers for Chet. I mean, he looks absolutely defeated in the zone there in that interview. Your reaction to everything that's gone down in this series, Game 7, and what you just heard from Chet. Stephen A.
In a perfect world, this would have been the last game Chet Holmgren played in an Oklahoma City Thunder uniform. He should be traded. The second you have an opportunity to get a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, you need a productive offensive player on your front line who you can rely upon. It was supposed to be the 7'1" Chet Holmgren. And keep in mind, I'm saying 7'1" because I want to remind everybody, this is not some 6'3" guard or anything like that. I understand Wemby's 7'5". Chet Holmgren is 7'1". You talk about needing defense and rebounding and somebody to defend against Wemby. Isaiah Hartenstein came in there and did what he was supposed to do for the most part. I know Wemby averaged 28 and 13. I get that part. But there were a couple of games where we were questioning the fatigue of Wembenyama and what have you. Why? Because Hartenstein was all over him, bodying him up, getting physical with him, making things a bit more arduous than any other player had been able to do against Wemby, to be quite honest with you. And if Chet Holmgren had given him a speck of help in this series, guess what? Oklahoma City Thunder, despite the two cats being gone, might have been advancing. Chet Holmgren was a no-show. But you know what? If you're a no-show because you shoot 1 for 15, 2 for 20 or something like that, okay, you were aggressive, but it wasn't your night. It wasn't your evening. To attempt 2 shots in an entire game where you played over 30 minutes, to go 3 quarters in a Game 7 of a conference final when you're supposed to be the secondary option and you do nothing, not even attempt a damn shot, I'm sorry, that's getting punked. It's just that simple. You don't have a heart to be in that position. Wemby is when he was needed. You're going up against Indiana, and Miles Turner and cats like that, even though he's a good player. It's a little bit different. Going up against Wemby, considering their history, the historical context that was brought to this series, the fact that you had gone against one another in the past, that you got cats like Big Perk on national television, looking into cameras of an international audience, telling them, yo, Wemby don't like you. He don't like you. He wants to kick your ass. He doesn't like you at all. He gets joy out of it. And to know that this man is coming for what you have, you're the reigning defending champion. You're the guy that won the championship. You're the guy that was supposed to be the biggest assist to going up against Wemby. And you put forth that kind of no-show. I want to remind everybody, the Oklahoma City Thunder is the one team in the entire NBA that can get it done when you're talking about Giannis. They got players to give. I could give you 7 perimeter players. Not that you're going to give up Shea Butter, but Shea Butter with J-Dub, with Mitchell, with Dort, with Caruso, with Wallace, with McCain, all of these cats and what they bring to the table. You could package a couple of those dudes along with Chet Holmgren. And not only that, you've got 16 first-round picks between now and 2022. 13 first-round picks and 16 second-round picks, at least. You got a boatload of assets. Sam Presti, the best in the business. The man, I can't say anything about him. He's the best in the business. But I can ask a question. What are you going to do? Take the picks to the grave with you? Would you storing them in a freezer for another life? I mean, what are you doing with those picks? You got to use them. You understand? You might as well use them. You use it to go get a cat that's going to give you 30 and 12, that's as aggressive as hell, who, by the way, defends and blocks shots, and Giannis Antetokounmpo backs down to no one. One of the great games we have seen Wemby play in his young career is when him and Giannis went against each other last year, if I remember correctly. That was something epic to watch because Giannis came right at him and Wemby wouldn't back up. That's what you need in Oklahoma City. Shea Butter don't want to say it. Nobody else wants to say it. in terms of Oklahoma City. I'll say it for them. Chet Holmgren, you can't have that. You need to move on from him. You need to get Giannis. I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm saying to get Giannis.
Look, Stephen, I agree with you 1,000%. I would trade him before the draft. And again, it's not what he did, it's how he did it. Right? Again, not being aggressive in a game 7 on your home floor is one thing. Not trying to attack the basket and not trying to shoot the rock is another. But the way that you got punked, the way that they snatched your soul, and this wasn't just a Wemby thing, because I was begging for Chet to take some type of ownership and try to guard Wemby at the start of the series. Okay, I came to the conclusion that that wasn't going to happen. So what San Antonio did all series long was majority of the time Chet was guarded by a smaller guy. We got a clip that showed a video that showed, I believe it was Vassell blocking his shot in game 6 and talking a whole lot of noise to him. This is a guy that is smaller to you. We could pull up countless videos and show the times that Chet Holmgren was getting bodied and put in the basket by smaller guys. It's one thing not to show up and say, you know what, at least he went down swinging. But he didn't swing a punch. That showed no heart whatsoever. And the one thing that Oklahoma City is not, one word we could never put on them is soft. But what Chet Holmgren showed is that, hey, man, I'm soft and I'm scared. He was scared throughout the entire series. By the way, this guy's getting paid over $200+ million. He was a first-time All-Star this year, third-time All-NBA. I mean, damn, bro. Shea looked defeated, and he didn't want to throw his guy under the bus, but you could tell when he got asked about it throughout the course of the Western Conference. They asked him about it, and he was left speechless. If I'm Sam Presti, and me knowing Sam Presti, because, see, a lot of people think that, oh, when you draft a player or you acquire a player or sign a player, that, oh, you just worry about what they do between the lines. No, that's part of it. These GMs, like Sam Presti, they do their background check, meaning they go and they see and they have these interviews and they want to know the one thing, do you have heart? We look down Oklahoma City roster, they have a bunch of dogs. Chet Holmgren showed me something different. And the reason that I'm saying that they need to trade him before the draft is because Wemby is not going nowhere. He's going to be around for at least the next 10 years in the Western Conference, and you got to bring somebody in right now that's going to maximize SGA prime and his greatness and get them back to where they're trying to go, and that's to win another NBA championship.
Well, you're absolutely right, but there's another way to put that. Chet Holmgren, let's be fair and put this out there. Chet Holmgren, his new deal pretty much starts next season. He's going to go from 13 to like $41 million. He's a champion, and against almost anybody else in the NBA, he deserves that money. He can play. He's not a scrub. Now, he don't look like he's done a push-up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, you know, you 7'1", and you 205 pounds, and you don't have any kind of definition whatsoever. You're a professional athlete. That's a damn shame. I mean, get in the gym, get some muscle. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, do something. At least Wemby got some definition, even though he's slim. You got some definition. I mean, damn, do something, okay?
Yeah.
All right, that's number one. All right, that's number one. Number two, here's where it gets interesting. What we have to say, Shay, we're calling out Chet Holmgren because this is basketball. You know, in sports, in various sports, you can lean on that team. And, of course, it takes a team to win. You're not on the court by yourself. It's for the guys. You know, we get that part. But at some point in time, it's about me and you. Like when, I tell you, I've said this repeatedly, one of my favorite moments in the NBA in the modern era was when Kevin Durant first arrived to Golden State. And it was the finals, and he was up against LeBron. Obviously, LeBron had taken his talents to South Beach. His first championship came against KD, Big Perk, Harden, Russell Westbrook, and those guys. Well, now it's Golden State's turn. And KD scores his first bucket. And then he claps his hands and spreads his arm. And basically what he's saying is, yo, dog, I got the right help now. Now what's up with LeBron? Like, LeBron had the ball and KD was guarding him, and he spread his arms and like, let's go. It's like basketball, that's what basketball is. When Clyde Drexler and them would talk about, well, who's the best two guard, and Jordan destroyed them. You know, when you look at Isaiah and you got a little guard and somebody going up against him, and Isaiah's reminding you, when AI goes on the court and it's like, yeah, I got other teammates, but this cat right here is talking some smack. Let me handle this. What's one of the great moments we still see on highlights? It's when Al Harrington is guarding your boy Paul Pierce, and Paul Pierce and them are talking, and the clock is winding down, and Paul is just, I got this, and everybody just spreads out. Basketball does something for you. This is what we love about the NBA. Basketball at some point provides moments within a game that says, it's me and you now. Chet Holmgren tried to ignore that. Chet Holmgren tried to make it about everybody else around him and himself. No, bro, it was about you. It was a heart check. Wemby showed up and showed his was palpitating. He had a pulse. You didn't. And when you look at Go OKC and you look at the talent that they have, along with the assets, draft capital, and talent, you can't concede the future to Victor Wembanyama. They're the one team, if the Knicks don't take them out, Oklahoma City is the one team, based on what I said about J-Dub and A.J. Mitchell being out, they're the one team that could say, nah, we could tweak this. We don't have to concede anything to San Antonio. We coming back for them. They can do that, but not with Chet Holmgren. You have to get somebody else, and that somebody else is Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak. He is the answer to their prayers.
I think we all think in the West it's going to be